Last week, the Hawkeyes brought the Cy-Hawk Trophy back to Iowa City, and next week, it's their mission to keep Floyd of Rosedale there.
And today, they faced Western Michigan in the team's final tune-up before conference play. Welcome to Hawkeye Xtra. I'm Jared Aarons.
And I'm Landon Stolar. Now, there's no trophy for beating the Broncos, but motivation was evident today at Kinnick. Remarkably, Iowa is 0-2 against the MAC opponent. And the Hawkeyes would win today. Already up 3-0. Jake Rudock to Jacob Hillier. He cuts inside and scampers in for the score, and if the route wasn't on then, it's on now. Courtesy Cavante, Martin, Manley. Back-to-back punt returns for touchdowns in the second quarter. 184 return yards today for Cavante. That's second only to Niall Kinnick in Iowa history.
That's impressive. A minute and a half before the break, it's Mr. Consistent. Mark Weissman into the black. 6 more for Iowa. They were up 31-3. And that's when B.J. Lowry took over on defense. Getting tired of seeing the offense and special teams take all the glory. Lowry takes matters into his own hands. The pick 6 on both sides of intermission. Dives for the pylon on the second interception run back. The scoreboard operator just had a really hard time keeping up because the Hawks scored 4 non-offensive touchdowns. It's all good in IC.
Now, Rudock didn't need to do much today. Just 10 for 15, 134 yards. But what he did was nice. That 29-yard touchdown to Damon Powell, his second of the game. And on the ground, sharing the wealth. Jordan Kanziri breaking tackles, looking like Mark Weissman. His first touchdown since the Insight Bowl 2 years ago. Iowa obliterates Western Michigan, 59-3. It's the Hawkeyes' first ever win against those Broncos, but more importantly, they wrap up the non-conference slate 3-1. The Hawks get big plays from all over the field. Fans haven't been used to that recently. Neither is Kirk Ferentz, but he likes what he sees.
You can't explain that, to have 4 touchdowns.
You Sadie, we've got more football for you now. Today was Iowa's last non-conference game of the season. The Hawks open Big Ten play against Minnesota for Floyd of Rosedale next Saturday.
But Minnesota wasn't focused on that. They were thinking only about San Jose State and trying to improve to 4-0 on the year. They didn't get off to a good start. Mitch Leidner calls his own number and walks into the end zone. He had 4 rushing TDs on the day. San Jose State, though, would answer right back. David Fales hits Chandler Jones in stride, not the Patriots' Chandler Jones. Nothing but green in front of him. The Spartans actually outscored the Gophers in that second quarter, but too much ground and pound from Minnesota. David Cobb bulls his way into the end zone as Minnesota goes on to win 43-24, your final.
They're 4-0 for the second straight season for Michigan State.
Mr. Gary Anderson and Wisconsin looking to bounce back after their loss to Arizona State. Jared Aarons taking on Purdue in the first Big Ten game of the year. Badgers have 3 pretty good running backs. This is one of them, James White, 70 yards for the score. He finished with 145 yards. Here's another Badger back, Melvin Gordon, almost untouched into the end zone. He had 3 scores, 147 yards on the ground. Now I said 3 running backs, 3, sir. They all scored. Corey Clement with a touchdown as Bucky rolls 41-10.
Couple of Big Ten games still going on right now.
Landon and Jared.
Back to Hawkeye Xtra, we'll talk some Panthers. Northern Iowa, the last time they took the field away from the Unidome, they upset Iowa State, Jared.
Yeah, that win, coupled with their blowout of Drake, has the Panthers ranked 7th in the FCS poll. They took a week off, and then today they have a road trip that sent the Panthers a little further away than Ames.
Really?
Northern Iowa at Northern Colorado. Lots of fans in purple making the trip to Greeley.
Really?
First straight time in the win.
And speaking of perfection, Co has yet to lose on the D3 level. The Co-Hawks ranked 20th in the nation right now after a nail-biter and a blowout. Today's game against Wash U would end up being a test. Scoreless in the second, Josh Reckers hits Gage Mose on the screen pass, 45-yard pitch and catch. He's make it all the way into the red zone, but not quite into the end zone. But that sets up this. Mose, finish what you started, big guy. Bust up the gut for the 3-yard touchdown. That gave Co the early 7-0 lead. Into the third quarter we go. Here's a big play. 4th down. Reckers hits Keaton Jurgens for the first down. That would set up a field goal, so it's 10-zip. And that's all the offense the Co-Hawks would need. Mitch Montgomery steps up for the sack for Co. Look at that hit.
That's a man sack.
That really is. In the fourth quarter, Eric Daganel, I should say, he rolls out to pass, but I don't think this is who he was looking for. Picked off by Chris Schultz. Not the prettiest game on offense, but Co shuts out Washington 10-0 behind some stellar D.
It's always
Welcome back to Hawkeye Extra. That's Landon. I'm Jared. Football wasn't the only big thing happening today. The Super Bowl of golf continued this afternoon.
And Zach Johnson is in it. He entered the third round of the Tour Championship, 7 shots back of Henrik Stenson. Now remember, if he wins this thing, he wins the FedEx Cup, and it's $10 million prize. That's a lot of cash right there. That's something
cheddar.
Serious cheddar indeed. And Zach, he had to battle the rain today in addition to the other golfers and the course. Johnson had some opportunities early. On 9, this for birdie, just to the left of the cup. Zach would card 10 straight pars.
But then on 11, the birdie train finally arrived. Ooh, ooh.
There it is, into station.
Zach sinks the putt, dropping him to 2 under. Then at 17, another birdie. Get on the train. That puts him at 4 under for the tournament. He shot a 1 under 69 today, and he's currently in 4th place.
Yeah, it's been a long train running, and he's still 7 shots behind Henrik, who's led since the start of this championship. Now, if it wasn't for Stenson, this thing would be wide open.
And we're pulling for you, Zach. But what do you say we head back to Kinnick, Landon, and
Let's
hand
do
out
it.
some game balls?
Game balls.
Game balls.
Game balls.
Coach Ferentz had high praise for his entire team today after their 59-3 win over Western Michigan.
Yeah, but we don't have enough time to recognize every single Hawkeye who is deserving, so we picked 2 players, starting with special teams, with who else? Cavante Martin Manley. Here are some random facts about his 2 punt returns for touchdowns. Fact number 1.
Fact number 1.
Fact 1, he's just the 3rd Big Ten player ever with a pair of punt return TDs in a single game. Fact number 2.
Fact number 2.
His 184 punt return yards is just 17 yards shy of Iowa's single game record, set by Niall Kinnick in 1939.
Anytime you're in the same sentence as Niall Kinnick, it's a good day.
And it's also a good day when you have 3 facts. Fact number 3, it's Iowa's first punt return touchdown since Andy Brodell ran one against Iowa State in 2008. And fact number 4.
Fact number 4.
Manley really, really enjoyed reaching the end zone twice.
about 5 yards before.